And we are back, and I am so excited. It is day number 21 inside of the 30K in 90 days challenge. And in today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the missing piece. All right. Here is the piece that you have been missing. We're going to bring it all together. All right. And it's going to make so much sense to you. I want to welcome you to today's challenge lesson. It's 21 days, okay? If you guys know anything about creating new habits, if you know anything about getting results in something that you want, what they say is that if you can do something for 21 days, you can build a new habit. And let me tell you about something that I have been experiencing during these 21 days so far, right? I had something I had to do a little earlier and I wasn't able to get to the live sooner. And I could feel in my spirit, I got to get my live done, right? It was almost like it was calling me. There is no way that I was going to be able to go to sleep and sleep comfortably and know that everything was all right in my business. It was no way I was going to be able to do that tonight, knowing that I had to do my live because I have now created a new habit of coming on, sharing a process that I have when I set everything up, speaking with you, sharing this content with you. And it's a part of what I'm doing and who I am. It's important. It's important. And so I want you to think about that. You've been following me, you've been following along this challenge for the last 21 days. I want you to keep in mind that anything that you can do for 21 days consistently, it can actually start to change your life radically. All right. So that's my soapbox on that. So, welcome. My name is Tracy Walker. I am a baseball mom. I am a seven-figure digital marketer. I am I'm a marketing automations expert. All right. So I love systems. I love tools. I love resources, things that allow me to make my life and my job easier, where I do not have to be ball and chain to a computer. I don't have to be ball and chain to a Zoom. I don't have to be any particular where to speak with someone on the phone. I don't have to be in my DMs all day. I simply have learned over the last, 17 years, I've been doing this full time, how to create content, make it valuable content that's speaking to my target audience, my perfect customer, and offers them something that is a solution to a problem that they have that I'm seeking to help them solve. That's what we're doing. But you probably have a missing piece, okay? Now, if you've been doing the work, this is my hope. My hope is that you've been taking the lessons, you've been taking the things I've been teaching you, but also you've been taking some action, right? I know a lot of time we get into a mode of study, okay? And I get it. I went to college, I graduated from college, and if you've even been, whether you graduated or not, okay, if you've been, even high school really, you know that you can study, and then you take a test, right? Then you go and you study. You might have to do a project. You study, you do a paper. You study, you take a test. You study, right? And you're never doing the thing, never doing the thing at least for 4 years. And then you got to find a job to go do the thing, okay? In this business, in this world of entrepreneurship, not even this business of digital marketing, but just in entrepreneurship, we do not live by that philosophy. Study, take a test. That's not how this works. You're starting this business because your goal, you desire to make money. So the way that you do this is you study, take action. You study, take action. You study, take action. You study, take action. You do not study, then can't remember what the hell you should be taking action on. So you got to go back to the beginning and study some more. Then you feel like, oh, it's 2 weeks. Then you slack up on taking action because you feel like you behind because it's been 2 weeks. And and then you say, that's not what we're doing. It doesn't work well. That formula does not work well when you're actively building something in a practical environment. When you are in a theoretical environment, which is like what school is set up, right? It's theoretical. It's uh, you're not really doing the thing. You're studying the thing. You're studying. You're learning. You're consuming information. Then your goal is to demonstrate that what you've consumed, you've memorized, at least for the point of the test. You could forget it after the test, right? If you did, then no big deal. You still got your A. But when you're doing this, and this is real life, and you have real bills, you have real families, you have real children with real tuition, you got real food you got to put on the table, you got real lights, you got a real car with real insurance, okay, with a real mortgage. Um, you've got to realize that your approach has got to be set up different. So we're going to study and then we're going to do. So my point is that at day 21, my prayer is that you have been studying what I've been saying a little bit, then doing what I'm saying. And then you're studying a little bit, and then you're doing what I'm saying. You study and then you do. You study and then you do. Because what happens is that you are building your stamina, and you're building where you're solidifying your understanding by your doing. It's not taking a test, it's actually like on the job training, it's actually OJT, right? So you don't need to take a test, just go do it and show that you know how to do it. And that is the test. The fact that you've got it done, you've got content up on social media, and it's working, and you're talking to your target market, that's what you want to do, okay? That is what we would consider an income producing activity. We call it IPAs. Okay. I learned that concept back in 2010 by one of my dear, dear, dear mentors. She's still a wonderful, wonderful mentor of mine now, named is Sherry Sharman. Love Sherry. Okay. Sherry, back in 2010, when I met her, probably even before, well, definitely before that, this one was making $100,000 a month for like 10 years straight. Okay. Prior to me even, she was going into retirement really when I met her in 2010. Okay. So this lady knows what she was talking about, and she taught me about IPAs, income producing activities. An income producing activity is your missing piece. That's one of them. I've got a second missing piece for you. Got two. I should have said, here are the missing pieces, but that's one. You've got to focus on IPAs. You cannot focus on the minutia. In other words, one of my other mentors, she says, you got to get out the weeds. Shonda Sumter, you got to get out the weeds. Okay. You cannot get so deep down into all the details about every little thing that you get stuck, caught, confused, overwhelmed, and never take the first step. So maybe you've been realizing, if you've been following me, that I've been teaching you a lot about using ChatGPT and how to create content and how to create prompts and how to set up things so that you can easily pop out content like this, where you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to curate that on your own. ChatGPT to the rescue. However, once you learn how to use it, it gets kind of fun. And you can kind of start going to town on that ChatGPT, and you forget, oh shoot, my real job, my real job should be creating the content that ChatGPT is kicking out, not me getting more prompts and more prompts and more prompts and more scripts and more hooks and more, you know what I'm saying? Not doing more, but getting more from ChatGPT, but actually implementing what ChatGPT is kicking out for you to create. You are a creator. You are a content creator. So you have to go out there and create. You are not just a content researcher, you're a content creator. Okay. So I want to make sure that one, that your missing piece, you're focusing on your IPAs. Your second piece that is more than likely missing. And I do see it a lot. There's tons of people that come to me over the years. And I think I may have talked about this a little bit in a previous lesson, where people will say, hey, nothing's happening with my content. Nobody's liking, nobody's commenting, nobody's sharing, nobody's, whatever. Nobody's even watching the videos, right? So some of that is going to come from your repetition. And as you do it, you will get better, and you will command a presence. You will command people to watch because they can't help but see you, right? Because you keep doing it. If you do it one time and stop and nobody saw you, you can bet your bottom dollar if you do it another time, they're probably not going to see you or remember. But you do it 5 times, you do it 10 times, you do it 21 times like we are right now. It's bound that somebody's going to pick this thing up, and then you're going to start engaging, and you're going to keep going, and you're going to keep going, you're going to keep going, okay? And you're going to start to garner attention. But the main thing in reference to your content is that you want it to connect. Okay. Your content is designed to connect. Earlier in the lessons, when we talked about the three M's, we talked about your market, we talked about your message, and we talked about your medium. Okay. These are principles that I live by as it relates to marketing. Your message is so important because if you are saying the right thing to the wrong person, that is not a match. If you're speaking to the right person, but you're saying the wrong thing, that too is not a match. But if you are saying the right thing to the right person, like I've been teaching you with ChatGPT, and the messaging is right, and the person is right, but you feel and you see that people still are not connecting, the missing piece is that you're too much in your head with your content, and you got to get out of your head and you've got to get into your heart. What do I mean by get into your heart? I mean that I tell people that work with me all the time, you've got to have what I call inspired action. You got to draw on your own experiences. You got to speak to people like people. In other words, ChatGPT kicks out a prompt and says, say this thing in this way, right here, right? Or base your content around this particular angle or this scope. You've got to then deliver that with authenticity, but from your heart. So when I speak about things and I'm talking about certain things, I will draw on my experiences as a mom, and I will sometimes relate examples to my son. Sometimes I relate examples to baseball. Sometimes I will relate examples to me as a mom observing the baseball, right? In that sense, I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking to you as a person who understands the struggles, who understands the thought process, who understands uh, the nights that you're up, that understands trying to put the bills together, that understands trying to make sure the child is happy, that they're to school, that their emotional state is good, that they're great, like, and then also trying to make sure I'm good. I understand that. So when I'm talking to my perfect customer, I'm speaking from an understanding in my gut and in my heart that I know what it's like. Not a fabrication. I'm not pretending to know what it's like. I do know what it's like. I do know what mothers would like. I do know what is going on generally in their mind when they're hardworking, they're making money, and they just don't have enough time. When I'm speaking from understanding their true desire, and I'm speaking to them from a place of person to person, woman to woman, mother to mother, not robotic. This is what ChatGPT told me to say, with no feeling, no emotion, no relatability. We talked about that before, right? You want to have these things. So you want to make sure that you are heart centered. You want to make sure that you are speaking to people from a place of understanding, of compassion, of empathy. You want to make sure that people can feel that, number one, yeah, you kind of do know what you're talking about. But number two, that they believe you, that they trust you, that you come across authentically as a person who cares, not unauthentically as a person who cares, not as somebody who says that they care, but you're really a fraud, not somebody who's saying they're a mom, but you're really not a mom, not somebody who's saying that you're a single mom and you understand, but you heard about single motherhood. So you kind of base off of what you heard, not that. In your truest sense, from your heart, knowing for me that a mother is willing to do anything, even I was going to say legally, morally, and ethically, but even illegally, immorally, and unethically at times, if it comes down between taking care of that baby and making sure that child is okay. Understanding the great depths that a mother is willing to go through to make sure their child is okay. That is coming from the heart. Yeah, I know that the mom wants to make money. Yeah, I can talk about the making of the money, but I got to talk about the making of the money from the place from whence the desire of money comes. Not just in the fact that the money is desired to be made, but from whence where's that desire coming from? It's coming from a desire to want to have more time. It's coming from a desire to want to show up better. It's coming from a desire to want to provide more or better. It's coming from a desire to, not necessarily spoil your child, but make sure they have things better than maybe you had when you were a child. So your two missing pieces would be number one, focusing on IPAs and not getting caught in the weeds. And number two, making sure that you are speaking from your heart. You are having heart centered content, not just throwing stuff up there. And then you're wondering why it's not really connecting, because a connection comes from your soul. Connection comes from your spirit. If your spirit and or your soul are not in alignment, there will not be a connection. So you've got to speak from that place where that woman or your target audience, that perfect customer, can feel your intent and that it feels true to them, that it feels good to them. Where they say, you know what? Yeah, let me look more into that. I like her. Let me check out her website. Right? That is what gets people to actually start moving along and saying, you know what? Yeah, I want to start checking this thing out a little bit deeper than what I was doing before. Or that it's my first time coming across this person, but I like what they're talking about. It seems like it makes good sense to me. So, in addition to just doing the content, in addition to just doing a ChatGPT, let's get focused on the IPAs. Let's get busy. Let's get to work. If you haven't done any content up to these 21 days, I want you to take some time and I want you to get busy. You cannot have no action. This is not designed for you to sit back and watch me every day. If anything, it's to serve as an example that I'm taking action in my business every single day. There's a lot of things you don't see, but at least this. I am taking action you see every single day. If it's nothing more than going live talking to you, you see that. The question is, what actions are you taking every day that's connecting to your target audience, your perfect customer, that is allowing you to generate leads, get people into your ecosystem, expose them to what you have, and ultimately make sales when the right match is made? Now, we talk a lot about this in our community, where we're focused on helping people really learn the skill set of digital marketing. I have been speaking with you and giving you some really, really core concepts. I will tell you, a lot of the stuff that I have shared with you guys, I literally have paid tens of thousands of dollars to learn, whether it's been at events, whether it's been private masterminds, whether it's been like private little clubs where you pay $50,000 and you got to be part of this mastermind, right? I've paid a lot of money for the things that I am sharing with you. And it's weird. That's why they say you don't really do a lot of free stuff, because they say people who don't pay attention, right? I'm giving you all of this knowledge absolutely free. My question is, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? Hopefully, you're consuming it to a point and you're implementing and executing. If not, I mean, this nor anything else is going to help you, because that would be an action problem, not a lack of information problem, right? Because I'm giving you everything that you need to know. Because up to this point, you should have at least 21 days worth of content out there, generating leads, maybe made a sale or two. But inside of our community and inside of our training, our e-learning training, we go into a lot more detail on a lot of these topics. Not all the topics, because some of these topics I've shared with you just pulling on my own resources, my own knowledge, and just the vibe of Tracy Walker. Okay. But a lot of the other content is designed to make sure that you can get all the ABCs, all the one, two, threes, all the step-by-step actions that you need to take in order to have a very successful digital marketing business, where you don't have to create the content, you don't have to build the website, you don't have to, worry about anything other than following the steps, getting your site up and running, and then using our educational platform to learn how to market. If you would learn how to market, you can make money in anything. If you avoid learning how to market, you will struggle in everything that you join. You will struggle in everything that you try to promote, because at the end of the day, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's digital, whether it's credit, whether it's crypto, you got to learn how to market it. Okay. So if you have not already gotten access to our free digital marketing blueprint, I want to make sure that you do that. Okay. What you want to do is you want to click on the link in the description of this video, or in the comments, depending on if you're looking at this on Facebook. On YouTube, it's definitely in the description. If you don't see it there, or you're having a hard time finding it, even though it's right around this video somewhere, you can see that the site is on the screen. You want to head over to www.makemoneywithtracy.com. Okay. When you get there, it is going to ask you to put your email in that box. When you put the email in that box, you're going to be taken over to a page with a video. And that video is going to start to break down exactly what our blueprint is. All right. If you like what you see on that video, you're going to click the button somewhere on that page. It's going to take you over to another page. It's going to give you all the details on our Legacy Builder program and how it works and what's included and what you get and what type of education. All that good stuff that you need to make a good informed decision is going to be right there on that page. You're even going to have the flexibility and the autonomy to get started with the program right now. You're going to have that ability. Now, what does that do for me? And once you get plugged in, what will that do for you? Because you will have the same exact resources that I have, is that you don't have to get on the phone with people to sell anything. You don't have to get on a Zoom every Tuesday and Thursday to sell or present anything. You do not have to be all day, every day on social media, going bananas, going berserk, trying to get people to do stuff. If you follow the steps and the training that I've been giving you so far, and we've still got 69 more days to go. Yeah, we had 70 years, so we got 69 more days to go. Okay. We're not even 1/3 of the way there just yet. We got about 9 more days for that. Okay. So I want you to head over to www.makemoneywithtracy.com. Get your hands on that, on our free digital marketing blueprint, and go through the information and get yourself plugged in. Here's the deal. Once you are part of our community, you get started, you're going to be able to join me in this challenge. Okay. And now you're going to be able to get all the deeper information that you need, that's going to make everything come full circle for you, so that you are really moving and shaking and taking advancements, making steps forward inside of your digital marketing business. That, listen, guys, literally, we're only doing this, only working like 2 hours a day as far as this is concerned. Now, I work a little bit more than 2 hours a day, only because I got other things that I'm doing and working on behind the scenes. However, if you're brand new at this, 2 hours a day, you follow what we teach you, it will put you in a position where you can start to earn anywhere between 100, 300, 600, and even $900 per day. But that is totally up to you. So head over to makemoneywithtracy.com, get your hands on the digital marketing blueprint, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow for day number 22. Deuce, deuce. Now, my birthday is 11/22, so I like 22s. Okay. I like 2 and 2. So tomorrow is 2 and 2. So it is not 11/22, but I will go ahead. I will take day 22. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good evening.